I was perusing Upwork the other day when I found someone who was complaining that they wanted to go to Google Data Studio because they had paid a developer to build a report in Power BI, and the report was, quote, clunky and what was the word? Ugh. Difficult to use. Power BI is not for cleaning data. It's not for engineering data. Okay, so hi, I'm Dave. This is Dave Splains. That's the subscribe button. You should hit it. And if you don't want to hit the subscribe button because you're a non-violent person, go ahead and just gently caress the like button until it turns blue. So anyway, Power BI is not for cleaning and engineering data at all, really. I mean, it's there for like some touch-ups, but realistically, it's not great for engineering data. And the reason why is because you're trying to visualize data and then clean the data at the same time, and that takes up a lot of processes and makes Power BI a real hungry program. So a lot of people, what they're trying to do is, what they're going to tell you to do is they're going to sit there, and Power BI will tell you that they can do this. You can go into get data, and then you can get data from all sorts of different places. They used to even have one for Facebook. I haven't looked. Can we still get one from Facebook? Okay, no. You can no longer get it directly from Facebook. The thing of it is that it seems like there's a lot more companies that have developed APIs and collect data and whatnot and so forth, and are for data management, and those are all in Power BI. Facebook not in there. The closest thing I've seen to social media in there would be LinkedIn, but it's like for sales. I got nothing. I didn't know that you could do sales in LinkedIn. Apparently I've been doing things the wrong way. Anyway, so it's primarily now for like data, whatever, facilitating places, and that's still wrong. Like even Google Analytics is going to be slow because you're going to take all of the data and you're going to put it into a thing that's meant for visualizing data, but not actually engineering data. So why does it have engineering abilities? Well, sometimes you still need those capabilities to be able to change the data just right in order to visualize the data. Yeah. So what a lot of people do, and a lot of these companies are doing, is they have an API. And I don't know why companies are like, oh, I want a data analyst, so I want somebody who can make a REST API. If you're working with Power BI, yeah, okay. So I can't say this legitimately, because, and here's the reason why. Because you can store a processed form or a data format in a REST API. You can, and not going to lie about it. But most people, what they're talking about is getting the data directly from the API. So we'll just call this a web API. Web, REST, API general, just usually the same thing. Web API, which is just really just a place where the data exists. So here's the data here, and it's unprocessed usually. Now, a lot of these places will tell you that they collected the data cleanly. It's all clean, it's in one format, it's never really been changed. Well, one, that's not right, because usually a lot of these businesses have existed for like 6 years and they've changed how they've collected and stored the data since then. That's one. And that's not really a bad one to overcome. It's not really that hard. And then for two, sometimes people just put in random stupid stuff in here. Sorry. It really depends on who built the system and who you can trust. So we have the unprocessed data. We have the unprocessed data going through here and going directly into Power BI. Now, Power BI wants to, really, it just wants to go and have its data table where it has each of its columns in different groups so that you can just pop them right into the visualization table and bada bing, bada boom. That's what Power BI wants to do. What you're making it do is first it's going to go over here and you're going to change the date because the date didn't come in properly. So now you've got to change type, date time. Then you're going to want to copy that, copy date, then split on a delimiter. Now you can do by year. So you're going to slice off everything else and keep the year only so that people can select by year in a slicer. Even though technically you should be able to do this, but for some reason Power BI has a thing where if you do it as, sorry, this also has to be changed by change type to text, because now you can build special buttons. We have the copy date, split delimiter, year, then change type year into text so that you can get your special button. Okay, all that for all of that. This could have just been done a different way. So you have your unprocessed data. You go into the data. You take this data and you take it into data processing. We're just going to leave it as data proc. This is usually done in SQL. You can do this in Python with pandas. It does not matter. This is the thing that bothers me the most, okay? Is that people will sit there and they say the words ETL Pipeline. And when you think of a pipe, you're thinking of something that constantly has something in it. So here's your pipe. Let's see if I can Mario Brothers this. And the general thought is that there's a constant stream, or what seems like a constant stream going through it. Realistically, though, you can change this to be whatever you want. You can do this by 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, 1 millisecond. It doesn't matter. It's what you want it to do. And in this ETL pipeline, what it does is it extracts from this data and then it loads this data into something like Power BI, or into a data table that is outside of Power BI, and then that goes into Power BI. All of these are more efficient running than this, because if you have all of this automatically done, because this can be all done, like say, okay, if you're having 1 millisecond, this is done at a constant rate. So it's kind of going to be like, holy crap anyway. But if you're doing this, like say daily, monthly, or annually, this can be automated. It can be set up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then you don't have to worry about anything. At 4 a.m., this happens. At 4:05, that happens automatically. And then loading happens at 4:10 a.m. And then it just sits there until you load the Power BI. Power BI is not for engineering. These are for engineering. Power BI is for visualization and working together and stuff like that. It's a great tool. Don't get me wrong. It's a wonderful tool, but it's not really meant for like huge engineering.
Okay, so over here, this is just something I've been playing around with a little bit for the favorite food. And we're going to just sit here, and it's kind of neat because you can go like that. And then even this drop-down list will change. So if I go over here where there's a small group, the whole list will actually get shorter. And that's really neat. I like it. But here's the thing. This simple thing is running off of only one of these sheets, and it's only running off of this little bit of data. It's only running off of age and food here for this graph. This is only running off of age. So this is a very, very small amount of data. 500 results, extremely clean. This is a clean thing that was built originally by inside of Excel. So all of this stuff was built clean. And down here, we're going to just go up to Task Manager and bring this up. Okay, so here's Power BI. This is a very simple report that I built with an Excel created test data. It's currently running one process in the engineering portion where I joined two tables together. I joined the results table with a lookup table. And that's it. That's all I did in the engineering. And here we have 3 visualizations here and 1 visualization on page 2. Now, originally when I only had page 1, this only had 5. Sorry, sub-processes going right there. There's only 5. Now, because I added a second page, there's 10. What does that tell us? That means that if I added another page, it would be 13, or 15, sorry. 13. It would be 15 sub-processes. And every time it goes up by at least around 600 megabytes for all of that to happen.
All right. Now, all of this doesn't mean that Power BI is not good for engineering. It's just not efficient for engineering. All of this is just the better method. Power BI is completely capable of engineering the data very well. It's just this is the better method. So if you've liked the video and you want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'll see you in the next one.